Alright, hello everyone, it's silverkyle, and today I'm going to be going over all the video games that I'm looking forward to in the fall season of 2022. I'm going to include September still, even though we're already done, because I did pick up quite a few games already, and there's quite a bit of games that I'm looking forward to from now until the very end of the year, in December even. I'm very, very excited this time around in video games. I don't know why, but I'm really in the groove right now, and I'm loving it. So, we're going to start this off with September. On September 9th, they released Splatoon 3. I didn't get this on day one. I was intending to get it like Christmas or something, but one of my friends ended up getting it, and then we were able to convince another one of our friends, our mutual friends, to also get it. So we all have the game now. I just picked it up last week. We haven't had a chance to play together yet, but that's going to change in hopefully October, where we'll try to set up a few nights to kind of play. I've played the multiplayer. It's okay. I think I'm just going to need to play way more with my friends. That's generally the appeal of Splatoon. But also the single players, which I haven't tried yet, generally are pretty good on Splatoon as well. Then we ended up getting Stray, the physical copy of the game, on September 20th, which, I mean, the game came out, I think, back in July. I already beat it already since picking it up on physical. And this is a game that I'll talk more about in my gaming update, which I'm going to be bringing back. I haven't done one of those in years. But just to talk about the games that I've been playing in the last little while, I'm really going to talk about Stray. It's a really good game. Relatively short, but I had a fantastic time with it. Next up is the Diofield Chronicle. That also came out on September 20th. And that's apparently like an RTS. RTS strategy game. It's kind of like an SRPG as well, that just recently came out. I didn't even know that this game existed until just like a day before it was released. It was crazy. I was like, where did this game come from? I'm normally very up on things, and I had no idea that it came out, and there is a demo out apparently. I definitely want to try that out and see if it's my cup of tea, because an RTS on console doesn't necessarily work the greatest most of the time, but I definitely want to give this game a try. And then we got, on September 27th, The Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero. There's going to be a duology, this one, and then the next one is Trails from Azure, that comes out next year. This takes place at the same time as the Trails of Cold Steel. So I mean, this takes quite a bit to get into, but if you're into RPGs, this is like an old school turn-based. Can you just focus? Why is it not focusing? I think the lighting isn't working, but anyway, very much looking forward to, well, I've started it, and I'm looking forward to playing all the other games in the series as well, because I have most of them. Then we go to September 30th. I have a pre-order. There's two games that come out here. One of them I have it on pre-order. Well, I had pre-ordered it, and it's just not here yet. That's Bayonetta 1, the physical copy of it, on Nintendo Switch, is being released. If you ended up getting Bayonetta 2, most of the time it came with a digital copy of Bayonetta 1. That's actually how I just recently played it, because I picked up Bayonetta 2 earlier this month. But I still want the physical copy of the game. I have it on 360 as well, but for whatever reason, as a collector, I just feel like I have to have all three Bayonettas in physical format. It is half price though, so it's only a $40 game here in Canada. Normally games are $80, so I assume it's $30 in the States. So depending on how you like it, that's an option. And another game that I'm still looking forward to, I haven't tried the demo out yet, and I've kind of heard mediocre, lukewarm reviews, essentially, is Valkyrie Elysium. Finally, we have a new Valkyrie game that came out on September 30th, just today. And it doesn't have the greatest scores, but I am very much looking forward to trying out the demo and going from there. I'm probably looking more forward to the Diofield Chronicle, though, in terms of those games. But that's 6 games in September. That's pretty darn good. I was pretty happy with this month. Next up in October, so it's weird, all the games come out at the very end that I'm looking forward to anyway. First one is A Plague Tale Requiem on the Xbox. Well, I think it's coming out on PlayStation 5 as well. PlayStation 5 and Xbox. That comes out on October 18th. I won't be picking that game up in terms of a physical copy right away, because it's going to be $80 and I can get it on Game Pass. So I'm going to play it there. And then most likely, as long as I like it, and I love the first one, so I don't see myself not liking the sequel. Down the line, I'll probably pick it up physical as well. Then we have Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope coming out on October 20th, continuing that strategy RPG. with Ubisoft and Mario and their relationship there. I wish that they would just, it's not the same, but I really hope that they make a Mario RPG again. I want Square to work with them again. That'd be freaking awesome. And Square seems to really be open to the door of working with Nintendo quite a bit on a lot of their games again. So fingers crossed at some point in time we get that. I think this is still coming out. I'm not 100% sure anymore. I just see this on the list and I feel weary of having it there. But Gotham Knights coming out October 25th for pretty much all the big Xbox and PlayStation. I feel like I want this game, but only when it goes down to $20. I don't want to pay full price unless I hear really good. Even then, I'm very weary of it. I loved the Batman Arkham series, but this doesn't look like it's going to be like that. And then we also have 2 days afterwards on October 27th, Star Ocean: The Divine Force. I've really always wanted to get into the Star Ocean series. Apparently the last one that they had didn't really do all that well at all. I'm hoping that this one's a little bit different and that it's more in tune with what a Star Ocean game should be like. Because the last one just really didn't do that great. So I'm just really hoping that, you know, they're still trying to continue this series, and even after the bomb of the last one. And then finally on October 28th, it's really weird. We have October 25th, October 27th, and October 28th for days here. But anyway, Bayonetta 3 on the Nintendo Switch. I probably won't get this day one because there's quite a few games that I want to pick up day one in November. So that game I definitely want, and I still need to beat Bayonetta 2 before I jump into 3. But that is coming out finally. I feel like they've been talking about Bayonetta for so long. Finally, we have the official release date. And then we have November, quite a few games. So that's 5 games for October. And really, I'm only going to be getting A Plague's Tale day one, and that's going to be through Game Pass. And now we have November. Harvest Stella on November 4th. I've played the demo for that. It's a farm sim from Square that is unfortunate that it's not on any other system, or that they would have done a little bit of a better job with the Nintendo Switch version, because it's kind of blurry, which is really unfortunate because I think it could be an actually really good looking game. But I liked the mechanics of it. It's kind of like Rune Factory essentially. It's an RPG, action-based RPG mixed with farming. I think it's more so heavy on the storyline and the battling mechanics, potentially more so than the actual farming will be in this game, from what I can tell from the demo anyway. Looking forward to it. Just wish that it didn't look as blurry and it looked a little bit better than it actually does. I feel like if it would have been on PlayStation and Xbox, it would have looked glorious. But most likely PlayStation, it would have looked a little bit better. God of War Ragnarok on November 9th. I cannot wait for that game. That is going to be insane. I've watched one trailer for the game and that's it. And I don't want to be spoiled with anything else. That is going... I really just cannot wait for that game. I wasn't really a big fan of the original God of War games. The hack and slash. I mean, technically they're still they're more like an action RPG or action adventure game maybe now. But back before, when they were like almost like a top-down view hack and slash game, I beat the first one and I was like, this is okay. I didn't really want to play the other ones. I eventually will, especially now that I played the God of War PlayStation 4. That game was phenomenal. So that's by far the one I'm looking forward to the most out of all of these here. Then we have Tactics Ogre, and so that was November 9th for Ragnarok. Then we have Tactics Ogre Reborn coming out. I think it's for the Switch. I don't think it's on anything else. I think if it is, it's PlayStation, but I can't remember. That's coming out on November 11th. Very much looking forward to that as well. I'm so glad that we're getting tactics games again. I mean, it's essentially this game, which I haven't opened, which is Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together. I'm pretty sure that this is the one that we're getting on the Nintendo Switch, and I feel that just makes so much sense. Strategy RPGs on the Switch, being able to play that on handheld just really make me happy, and I'm really hoping that it does well so that they continue on making sequels in this series. I feel like we're also being just very blessed. If you're an RPG fan and a farm sim fan, they've been making a lot more lately. So I really can't complain about anything. I just love the amount of games that we're getting. Next up is Ys 8. I'm going to butcher this. Lacrimosa of Dana. Dana, I have no idea how to pronounce that. But that's coming out on November 15th for the PlayStation 5. This is a big deal to me because it came out for PlayStation 4 and I think the Switch as well. I wouldn't play that on the Switch. But that game looks like a crazy amount of fun and I've heard so many good things, but it's skyrocketed in price. It just, for whatever reason, same thing with Ys 9. That also did not do, like, in terms of stock, it's just out everywhere and it's just shot up in price so much. So I'm really hoping that this one does well and they end up getting Ys 9 also for the PlayStation 5 so that we can have all of these physical copies of these games and not pay a ridiculous amount. So very, very excited for that. I probably won't get it day one because I've got too many games on the go already, but very much looking forward to playing that at some point in time down the future. I'm going to have to pick it up soon, though, because I know it's going to skyrocket again. And then the last game that is coming out in November is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, coming out for the Switch on November 18th. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't really seen a lot. I did really like Pokemon Arceus, and I think that this is going to be more like that, but on the main line. So that's kind of one of the few things that Arceus is missing to me is having the gyms. If you would have put that in, I think that Pokemon Arceus was one of the best Pokemon games that we've had in a long time anyway. And so now that they're going to be going, I think the route of Pokemon Arceus with this new one, then I'm looking forward to it. So 5 games for November as well. I can't remember because I used to do these every once in a while as well for talking about a bunch of games that are coming out and looking at, you know, what's coming out in the next 3 months all the time. And for the last few years, probably because of what happened in 2020, the pandemic just messed up everything. But I think that has really helped out, or that really hindered everything. And now we're finally getting to the point where we're getting back into the groove of having a bunch of releases. December, which is usually a relatively slow month because they always want to have their games released before so that you can buy them in November or something for Christmas, for the holidays. But we do have a pretty big release in December in Final Fantasy Crisis Core, which comes out on December 13th. And it's a little bit cheaper than a regular retail game. So I think in Canada here, normal games are $80 and it's at $65. So I assume in the States it would be maybe $50, give or take. I'm very much looking forward to that. I just don't know if I'm going to pick that up day one because there's so many other games that we're going to be working on by that point. So I'll just go over the list for what I ended up picking up day one. So obviously Splatoon 3, or I guess not day one, but I picked it up not long after. Stray, The Legend of Heroes, Bayonetta is on the way. In October, the only game that I'm going to be playing day one is A Plague Tale, Requiem. On Game Pass. I'm not going to actually buy it physically. November, I'm getting Harvestella day one, God of War Ragnarok day one, Tactics Ogre Reborn day one. I probably won't play Tactics right away. And then Pokemon Scarlet and Violet at day one. So December, by that point, I don't know if I'm going to be working on so many games that I don't know if it's really feasible to buy Crisis Core. Day one, the other thing too is I've never played Crisis Core, so does it look? It kind of looks like it's going to be playing like Final Fantasy VII Remake. If that's the case, then I'm much more tempted to get it. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments below. I mean, I could just look at this as well. But if anybody has played Crisis Core and you really liked it, try to sell me on the game to see if I should get it day one. All right, that's it. That's everything I'm looking forward to. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else that you're all looking forward to? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. You have been bearded in. Beardage.